Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Sarah. This is my fourth Etoys screencast. Today we're going to be talking about something called variables, which include joysticks and sliders that are essentially more complex ways to control or program the movement of one of your objects. So as you can see, I'm starting from a virtually blank screen because I got kind of tired of programming my two flowers. So I'm going to draw two quick objects really quickly. One of them is going to be controlled by a slider and the other one by a joystick. So I'm going to draw two little faces. Here's first face. Oh, we should give him a face color. There we go. And here's the second face. They're going to be very similar to each other. Sorry, I don't have much artistic ability. All right. So really quickly, I'm going to pull up their their halos for each one of them. And I'm going to go ahead and name them so that we don't forget what their names are. I'm going to pull out a slider and a joystick from the supply box, and I'm going to have the purple face be controlled by the joystick and the blue face be controlled by the slider, and that's just how it's going to be. I don't know, I randomly picked that. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the viewer for the blue face. I'm going to pull out his vertical controller, which is the Y, because sliders only control motion in the up and down, so the vertical area, and joysticks control motion in both the vertical and the horizontal direction. So basically we're going to start with the slider because sliders are basically the easier version of the joysticks, and their programming is essentially the same, except joysticks you're adding the X and the Y motion, whereas sliders you only have the Y version. So here you go. We've pulled out the Y movement, including its actual position, and we're going to use this little arrow that's facing to the left, change it to increase by. Then we're going to open up the sliders viewer, go ahead into these drop-down categories, pull up the slider. There's a variety of different things you can do. You can make the slider wider, you can make it skinnier, you can change its color. So let's do that's a good color. And we're going to say its numeric value, and we're going to drag that out of the viewer, and we're going to put it over this slider's Y numeric value, and you have to wait till the little green highlighted box comes up, drop it in there. And then sometimes what I like to do is, because Etoys does not have as big of a range of motion as I would like, is I like to change it so that it is a multiple of 3. Change it to ticking. And then as we move our slider up, our face is moving up. As we move our slider down, there you go. It's going to slow down its movement. Up, down, and we can hit stop right there. So another thing you might want to consider doing is putting in a minimum value and a maximum value so that your object does not move all over the screen. So I might put my minimum value at 5 and my maximum value at 500, just as an example. Oops, too high. Sometimes I forget what the range of motion is, so I can bring him back down here. All right, so sometimes when this happens, you have to pull up the viewer for the face. And this is actually something good that happens. So you can actually control its Y value and bring him back down so that he's in your range of motion again. There you go. Pause. Pause. Sometimes crazy things like that happen. All right. So let's put this as 50. All right. There we go. That's how you make a slider. Oops. All right. So now let's make our joystick. So basically to make a joystick, you're going to do the exact same thing. Let's get this out of the way. You're going to open up the viewer, and instead you're going to put the X and the Y value out here. You're going to change both of them to the increase by. Going to go to the joysticks viewer, go into the joystick category. You're going to match left, right with Y and up down with, left right with X and up down with Y. And you can hit that to ticking. And as you can see, our little bud's moving when you move the joystick around. Again, you might want to consider doing the same thing that I did with the slider. It's just, otherwise the range of motion is so small. Multiply both by 2. Ooh, this is a little funny to play with sometimes. And there you go. Now you can move them around like this. And your slider you can move around like this. And there you go. That's how you make a slider and a joystick. I hope you found this video to be very helpful. I know it's pretty short, but there's your quick lesson on how to make a slider and a joystick. And next time we're going to be talking about tests, which is an even more complicated way of controlling and programming our objects. So we'll catch you later.